MU's provost leaving to take a top job in New Mexico.
An 18-wheeler left a mess by the airport.
And Gulf ripple effect. The gas prices on the rise. KOMU 8 News at 6 starts now. A nickel here, a dime there, it all adds up. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Rake.
And I'm Tyler Emery. Thanks for joining us. Gas prices in Columbia are up, and KOMU 8's Zara McDowell found out why.
Gas prices in Columbia are $2.49. That's more than the Missouri average, which is this blue line right here, and that's more than 36 cents above what it was this time last year. The reason? We talked to Gas Buddy's senior petroleum analyst, Patrick DeHaan, who gave us 3 reasons for the hike. 1. Hurricane Harvey delayed oil refineries maintenance that was supposed to happen in August or September so they could continue to produce gasoline. 2. There's more maintenance going on right now instead. And 3. This normally would not be a problem because we can get gas from the Gulf Coast. However, there was a leak in the pipeline that brings us that gas from the Gulf Coast. DeHaan says he knows nobody likes rising gas prices.
I wouldn't say excessive, but certainly it's noticeable. So I would say marginal, and hopefully it will just stay around to 2.5 a gallon.
Gas Buddy's analyst says there is some hope for our future gas prices, and he expects them to start to go down next week. In the studio, Zara McDowell, KOMU 8 News.
An 18-wheeler crashed on Route H near the Columbia Airport and left a mess on the roadway. KOMU 8's Eric Graves is live at the scene. Eric, what can you tell us?
I'm about a mile from the main road from the Columbia Regional Airport. At 2:45 p.m. today, a hydro-seeder was going eastbound down Route H when it encountered another large vehicle, a fertilizer spreader. Now, we're told both tried to make room on the narrow road, but the hydro-seeder went off to the right side of the road and overcorrected, causing it to land partially in the ditch and partially on the road. Seats from the truck ended up all over the road. The driver and the passenger were taken to University Hospital with minor to moderate injuries. There was no collision and the other truck was fine. Reporting live from near the Columbia Regional Airport, this is Eric Graves, KOMU 8 News.
MU Provost and Executive Vice Chancellor Garnet Stokes is leaving Mizzou to become the new president at New Mexico University. She signed a 5-year contract worth a salary of $400,000. She begins March 1st. Stokes started working at MU in February of 2015. She led budget planning this summer, established the Office of Civil Rights and Title IX, and hired 9 of MU's 12 deans. She also served as interim chancellor from May to August. MU Chancellor Alexander Cartwright says she excels at finding the right leaders for critical positions, individuals who are academically very strong, but also a good fit for the institution and committed to student success. He also plans a national search for a new provost and find an interim provost in the coming weeks.
After being denied 2 times in the state of Missouri, the Grain Belt Express could still happen. This comes after the company appealed its case to the Missouri Supreme Court this week. KOMU 8's Adam Duxter tells us how Missourians are responding to the news.
In theory, the Grain Belt Express is a simple idea. Take wind energy made in Kansas and transport it along a straight line through Missouri using high-power lines. Yet what seems like a simple idea, execution has been anything but. The idea was first turned down 2 years ago by the Public Service Commission. The group pitched the idea again last August and were denied again. Even so, executives at Grain Belt Express feel like technicalities are the only thing holding this project back.
It's not a question of whether or not this would be good for Missouri. This is clearly demonstrated to be good for consumers and taxpayers, but we have to sort out this legal hang-up.
So why hasn't this idea gone through? Ask Missouri farmers who would have power lines slicing through their land without their consent, dropping property values, even limiting the height of crops they can grow.
I think I speak for all landowners when I say we've sacrificed, we bought our land, we love our land, and we don't want to be told we've got to give up some of our land.
Grain Belt Express is now depending on the Missouri Supreme Court to proceed. Farmers and many others who are opposed to the power lines aim to make that process as difficult as possible. In the studio, Adam Duxter, KOMU 8 News.
Research from the MU Sinclair School of Nursing says registered nurses are better equipped than licensed practical nurses at spotting discrepancies in patient medication. With funding from the National Council's State Board of Nursing, the researchers looked at 12 nursing homes in Missouri and compared the way RNs and LPNs assessed patient medications. They found at the end of the day, RNs were better for the job. The nursing school says that although RNs and LPNs often do the same work, RNs spending a longer amount of time in school helps with this particular issue.
Here's what's happening right now. Community leaders in St. Louis, upset how police treat blacks, have started an economic boycott. The campaign says African Americans suffer excessive force by police, criminalization, and harsh sentencing. The boycott includes the Del Mar Loop and the St. Louis Galleria. Also, earlier this week, the St. Louis County Council approved a 30% pay raise for police. The ACLU currently has 2 lawsuits filed against St. Louis police over the use of force.
A jury convicts a former Springfield Middle School football coach today for killing a 10-year-old girl. 49-year-old Craig Wood was found guilty of kidnapping, raping, and killing 10-year-old Haley Owens in 2014. A witness says he saw Wood pull the girl into his truck and reported the license plate. Her body was later found in Owens' basement. A jury will hear more testimony to decide whether he will receive the death penalty. It was a warm day out there, but Kenton says cold air is moving on in. Let's check in with him to see when it's headed our way. Kenton.
It definitely is already out there, Tyler. If you've been out in the past couple hours, you've likely felt a big difference. In Columbia right now, it's 56 degrees. A couple hours ago, we were in the 70s. It's still around 70 right now at Lake of the Ozarks, but it's 51 up in Macon. As I was talking about yesterday, a big spread in our temperatures all across mid-Missouri as a cold front pushed us through. With this cold front, we also have some breezes. Winds sustained around 15 miles an hour right now. Everything in right on from the north here for the most part. Eventually for our overnight hours, it'll be from the northeast. But for our evening, we're down to 52 here by 10 p.m. We're going to keep quite a bit of cloud cover out there this evening as well. And in the next couple days, temperatures are cooler. We're at 58 on our Friday here with a bit more sunshine finally coming back out. Then we're at 69 on Saturday. We're going to have a slight chance for a brief shower or sprinkle on Friday night into Saturday morning. But during the actual daytime, we should see quite a bit of sunshine here both days. I'll break down the rest of our weekend and track our next weather maker. That's all coming up later in the show.
Kenton, thanks so much. It might have been a little strange to see some snowpows out in that warm weather today. We'll tell you why coming up later in the show.
Plus, a St. Louis woman cleans up a shoplifter. Literally, that's later.